What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic month so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the best, Virgo, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So guess what time it is, Virgo? It's planetary energy spread time. I've really come to enjoy these spreads. But with this planetary energy spread, this is just every time the sun moves to a different sign, we're going to talk about, where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies, Virgo. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Virgo. So Virgo, with this spread, I got the zodiacs laid down here for each sign that a planet is in, and the one with Aries and Scorpio here is going to be for the eclipse. And I'm going to pull an oracle card for each, and then we'll get some more details with the tarot. But just so you are aware, before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included all links for all of them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Virgo. But Virgo, let's talk about this party that's forming in Taurus, because we got the sun moving in Taurus on the 20th, we got Mercury that's been chilling there, Uranus has been having a party for like the last 7 years, and then we got Jupiter that's going to be moving there towards the end of May. But let's start with the sun, because with the sun's going to enter Taurus on the 20th of April, and then we'll be there through the 20th of May. And with this energy, Virgo, the sun or Taurus energy invites us to really kind of slow down and really stabilize. They're a sign of sensuality and security, persistence, So this is a good time to really just kind of be present. Maybe if you've, now that the weather's starting to get, starting to warm up a little bit, maybe this is a great time to get out it's definitely a great time, Virgo, to get out in nature. Well, depending on where you're at, we just had snow yesterday, which was kind of weird. But get out in nature, and even then, Virgo, work with this energy. And this is something good too, if we've been maybe kind of working hard, even like maybe playing a little too hard. This is a great time to get some balance, but also just be mindful of stubbornness during this time, because of the fixed signs, Taurus is, because they're rooted in the earth, are known to be the more stubborn of the zodiacs. So just something to be mindful of, Virgo. Now with Mercury, your ruler, Mercury is that time, Virgo. I don't know about you, I have a Gemini moon, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, and it's retrograde season. Yay! Which, retrogrades really, when you break them down, they really are a great time for reflection. They invite us to work, really great energy to work with this Taurus energy, slow down and to just really reflect, since the planet looks like it's just at a halt or moving backwards anyway. Just take this time, reflect, slow down. But you may notice, Virgo, that your communication skills might be a little off at some times. It might be whipping up word salad a little more than usual. But then you also may notice, too, that technology might be acting a little weird sometimes. So just something to be mindful of. But Mercury entered Taurus on the 3rd of April and will be there through the 11th of June, which is quite a long time. But because we got that Mercury or that retrograde, which right after the sun enters Taurus on the 21st, Mercury is going to be going retrograde through the 14th of May. And with just this retrograde happening in Taurus, Taurus dealing with finances as well and material aspects, this might affect your judgment and interactions when it comes to those matters. So I've been kind of telling people, not that I feel like you need to panic about your money, stay calm with that. But I feel like it's more so just like if we make any sort of I feel like the biggest thing, if we make any big purchases or something along those lines, just keeping receipts, and then I feel like really, especially Virgo, any sort of electronic purchases as well. Just maybe make a folder for them in your emails. Maybe just kind of, that's what I do. Just kind of like log them in just on the side, even if you don't look at them again. Just something to have on hand on the off chance some weirdness happens. Better to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. That's a philosophy I stick by. But after, the nice thing is not just going to be all just kind of like caution and things. This is a great time to be thinking about investments, because after the retrograde time, the energy is going to stabilize again. And then we're going to be a little more steady, a little more pragmatic again, more realistic. The energy is going to start getting more kind of diligent and more kind of in the means of planning for that long-term security. So just something to be mindful of. And that'll be kind of nice too. After Mercury goes direct on the 14th, Jupiter a couple of days later on the 16th of May is going to be entering Taurus. And this is going to be a nice time for Jupiter to be in Taurus, and really going to be a great sign for, I feel like Taurus in particular, just being in their sign, but also a great time for earth signs. This is just with Jupiter being a planet of abundance and expansion. This can be a good time for you to learn some skills, maybe think about some like investment type things, Virgo, or for, even if we're feeling good financially, even investing in like your health. Because, when I was talking about Taurus dealing with kind of like earthly matters, they're ruled by Venus, and Venus, one of my favorite things to talk about with her is self-care. So either investing in your health, getting some good routines, anything along those lines. Jupiter entering Taurus is going to be good for that. But the biggest thing, with Jupiter being a planet of abundance, this is a great time if we do want to start thinking about long-term investments and things along those lines. It's a great chance for growth in all aspects of life, because Taurus is going to slow down the abundance, which you would initially think that's like, oh no, I don't want the abundance to slow down. But it's more so just like, how can we stretch this out? How can we make this abundance, work for the duration of this journey, as opposed to just like getting it in big pockets? We want to stretch this thing out, Virgo. We want to like, just kind of collect on this over time, So this is a great time, start working on like what would you call that? Like a nest egg almost, or something along those lines. But be patient. This is a good time just to, try not to get into a place of stress or anything along those times, especially where the energies are going. And then last this little troublemaker, we got Uranus in Taurus, which is not a troublemaker. Taurus is. But Uranus, it has been chilling in Taurus for like the last 7 years. That's about roughly how long Uranus stays in a sign. And we'll be in Taurus till right before my birthday in 2025. But Uranus in Taurus, as you've been noticing these last 5 years or so, and we still got a couple more years, I feel like, especially now that Pluto is getting settled, starting to do its dance in Aquarius. Things are really kind of getting settled in. But Uranus being in Taurus shakes up our foundation, our security, as far as but not in just a way to just get you where you're out on the streets or feel like you're out struggling, Virgo. It's more so to figure out, hey, what's no longer providing a security for where the times are going. We need to adjust with where things are going. We're entering a whole new age. Look at how things, even things were now compared to where they were 10 years ago to where they were 20 years ago. That's what Uranus does. Uranus helps us adapt and just starts weaving out just some old stuff so that we can start weaving in some new things. So, Uranus and Taurus, where all this stuff may seem like a lot of chaos is going down, if we work with these energies, and not if, when we work with these energies, Virgo, it's going to get us into a place of it feels less chaotic. The changes still might be a little weird, you might take a little bit of an adjustment period, but it's totally worth it in the long run. Uranus is bringing revolutionary energy. So, they rule over Aquarius, and Aquarius, does the most sometimes. But all right, Virgo, let's get into your first oracle card for this Taurus energy. Wow, interesting. This is like the second or third time that this card has popped out, I want to say. But you got the fourth card of Scorpios here, Virgo, which is the Cat card. And this is a card of apathetic, disinterested, aloof, my way or the highway, bored, unflappable, cool cat, unaffected, not my problem, what I want, when I want it, cool and calm and disengaged. And Virgo, I feel like with this card kind of going around, we'll talk about the apathetic part of it in a second, but I feel like this is more so kind of emphasizing the unflappable and the cool cat unaffected part of it. Because with all of these changes that are going down, there's going to be, with how the news is, I'm sure, and just like, maybe with how conversations may be at work amongst friends, amongst family, it's can be easy to get swept up in the storm and let this seem like everything is falling apart and that there's no kind of security. But when we keep a cool head, Virgo, and stay like a cool cat, stay unflappable and work with this energy, because listen, Mercury being in an earth sign, like all this earth energy that's happening right now, this is going to be a great time for earth signs as far as like getting things in order. If you've been feeling like security has been sort of just sort of like oscillating or precarious, anything along those lines. It's a great time to start setting a game plan and getting your place, so that you're not, if you have been maybe feeling anxious, or if we feel anxious in the future. This is something that anxiety that you might be feeling is not meant to, these times are not trying to keep you down, Virgo. They're just trying to get you thinking, because if we're feeling this way, that's a signal. Take it from a Cancerian. We're all about emotions. This is trying to guide you somewhere. So pay attention to that. We want to make sure we're keeping a cool head in all of this. But I also want to say, Virgo, with that, because this cat card almost gives me very Four of Cups vibes in the terms of like that apathetic part of it. Because if we get to a place where we do just seem like there's doom and gloom, and that, we feel like that there's no kind of messages coming through, or no kind of signs, or just like, we're just disinterested, just sort of care life is just kind of meh, we're just going to do our own thing. You want to be mindful of that, Virgo, because that's weird energy to be kind of teetering in. This is a judgment-free zone, but I just, we just want to be mindful with where things are changing, especially where, I was reading something not too long ago when I was talking about that. I think that Mercury's going to, and I have to double check on this, that Mercury's going to be retrograding in all of the earth signs this year. And just when I think about earth energy, on top of just like our finances, they do deal with like, just thinking like with health and getting in touch with nature and all of those type of things. I feel like being mindful of your health and, your materials, all of that stuff. We don't want to get to this place of disinterest and just sort of like just going, just kind of like YOLO, just something, I hope that makes sense, but just something to be mindful of, when we get into this place of just sort of like it's an interesting feeling. It's just sort of like nothing kind of matters, just really just kind of like, can't even be bothered to get this life thing again. I hope that makes sense, Virgo. We want to just avoid that. But where your mindset at, and that's something that's been like a message that's been kind of popping in my head for these readings, that really what we're telling ourselves and where our mindset at is going to be very important during this time, and really just going forward, Virgo. But let's get some tarot on this and get a little more details on this feline friend here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we got the Five of Wands in reverse here. Hold up. All right, hold on, Virgo. So we got Five of Wands in reverse. Interesting. We have Seven Cups in reverse. And then we have one of your cards. Interesting. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, and then I say Seven of Cups in reverse. I meant Seven of Cups upright. So, Virgo, this is kind of what I was talking about as far as like... as far as like getting a plan. If we feel like we're in a place of conflict, or that we feel that things are just kind of going awry, or that maybe you've been feeling anxious, or maybe I will say one, Virgo, just with this card can be, it's kind of like a card for me, like a card of brainstorming, but, considering, sometimes with how these people are practicing, when you think about practice, sometimes when you're getting in the mix, that feelings can kind of run a little hot, and this is Saturn and Leo, and I'm just thinking to all of that to say, if we have people in our environment that are kind of causing this kind of chaos, that's keeping us, that's preventing us from keeping our cool, preventing us from, you know, really kind of affecting our Ten of Pentacles in the sense of, sure, you know, this can deal with your legacy, but again, more so kind of dealing with like your health, your manifestation, your resources. And the resources can be more than just your stuff, Virgo. This could be your energy is a resource as well. So, you know, your time, your you know, all of that. And if we have things that are coming into conflict with that, I just feel like that's something we want to be mindful of, you know, any sort of like toxic behaviors or anything along those lines. But I also feel that if some of us have been feeling that maybe either our security has been at risk or we're just not quite sure what a bigger picture kind of looks like right now, Virgo, you know, the Seven of Cups, there are so many options, you know, like for in life right now. I mean, just in general, but really, there's so much abundance around. And what that means is, you know, it's when we're not sure what that big picture looks like, when we come for like tarot and things, this is not to necessarily look for answers, because the really, Virgo, the answers are all within here. What do you want to do? How do you want to build up these things? Here's some tarot gets you started, you know, gets your brainstorming, it gets the juices flowing as far as just like thinking like, I have been at conflict as of late. What is that? You know, it gets you to do that detective work. You know, this is Venus in Scorpio, and I feel like that's like really getting down to the heart of the matter, really getting a hyper focus on what is Ten of Pentacles for you. And that's going to be really the name of the game, especially this is a great month for that, really thinking about that, Virgo, and really starting to get just, because listen, you don't have to have this figured out, you know, by the time, because, you know, we're going to talk about eclipse stuff here and all of this. You don't have to have this all figured out like today. All this energy is saying is just to get that ball rolling, you know, maybe to just start jotting some stuff down. Tap into that superpower of yours, Virgo. Let's get some details listed down, because Ten of Pentacles, your card, Mercury in Virgo. This is, because Virgo, I don't know if you realize this, because I feel like people sleep on Virgo sometimes when we think about abundance, because your sign is naturally, you're naturally abundant. You're the King of Pentacles in tarot. So, you know, this is a great time for you to just think about getting that ball rolling, just jotting some stuff down, maybe doing a vision board. You know, this manifestation this energy is going to start getting potent, Virgo, and things are just going to start just improving from here. So we don't want to get to this place where we are missing messages, even when, you know, when we're talking about that apathy. You know, if we've been wondering, you know, what's our purpose, where we're supposed to be doing, then it's time to listen, Virgo. Listen to that answer, because your higher self, inner child, whatever, they're trying to get in touch with you and let you know. And if it seems, because listen, Virgo, another thing too, the only crazy idea not implemented at this time is the one not implemented at this time, Virgo. So let's get this stuff happening, because really, I mean, earth signs, you're natural at manifesting stuff in this world, so just don't sleep on that, Virgo. All right. Hold on, Virgo. Okay. Now, you know what, while we're talking about intentions and Ten of Pentacles and whatnot, let's talk about this eclipse stuff. Because on the 20th, you know, and tomorrow when this is being released, it's going to be time. And listen, Virgo, when I think about it, I could have put this out a little bit sooner, but this energy is going to be going on for like up until the next set of eclipses that happen towards the fall time. So this is why I was saying, you know, you don't have to get everything like solved right now, but it's like this is a time of setting intentions. Because with this hybrid solar eclipse that's happening in Aries, this doesn't happen very often. It's a rare eclipse. It happens like maybe once a decade or so. And eclipses just, they're bringing endings, they're closing cycles, and we're opening a new one, brand new, whole new cycle, whole new Virgo. And the thing about this is occurring like on this new moon that's going to be happening in Aries. It's happening again in Aries, and it's happening on the 29th degree. About to get a history lesson here, Virgo, or an astrology lesson. It's happening on the 29th degree, and that's referred to as the anaretic degree in a zodiac. A zodiac sign, for example, like your sign or any sign, it goes from 0 to 29 degrees. And that last degree, that 29th, represents the end of a karmic cycle. And so this is going to be, so imagine Aries. It's like, imagine the emperor at his highest vibration, and that's where we want to be thinking about, Virgo. What does Virgo look like at your highest vibration? This is about really realizing your authentic self, and realizing 10 of Pentacles all day. That's the question of the time. What does 10 of Pentacles look like for you? How are we going to get to that? Because the options are plenty. You don't got to tackle all this, because maybe you want to tackle all this stuff, Virgo. Pick one that makes sense right now. Start with one, and then as it branches off, it'll build off of that stuff here. 10 of Pentacles, we may not we're not going to achieve 10 of Pentacles before this journey's over, but we're going to get close, Virgo, bet. And you're going to enjoy it along the way. But it's setting that intention. But let's get an oracle on this and see how we can work with this energy. All right, Virgo. Absolutely. Look at you, Virgo. King of the mountain. You got the sixth card. I was like, oh, and it's one of Aries card. You got the sixth card of Aries here, which is the flag card. Look at you, Virgo, syncing up with the energies. And this is a card of achievement, recognition, overthrow, success, victory, winner, conquest, mastery, bragging rights, carry the day. Plans are coming to fruition, and king of the mountain. Because Virgo, that's going to be you. Soak it up. Take it in, Virgo. Because I'll tell you what, so far I'm almost halfway through the signs, and this has been, it's been a little, we got some stuff coming here. I feel like some growth is getting ready to happen. But for you, Virgo, so far you're really setting a tone here as far as like coming into like success. I feel like this is a great time to be thinking about, again, what does this Virgo look like? This is really, let this be part of your vision board here. A vision of you on top of a mountain, holding that flag, holding that win. And really think about that, Virgo. What would make you feel like a winner? What was going to help you feel successful, victorious? And then start being in that energy. Start making plans, because when you do, because I'll tell you what, another one of your card is 9 of Pentacles. And I feel like when you're in that energy, you start embodying whatever it is that you want to do. Let's say if you want to be, let's see what's on this card here. Let's say you want to be a snake charmer, came to my head first. Let's say you want to be a snake charmer. Start doing some research on this stuff, Virgo. if you want to, maybe you already know a lot about snakes. Maybe this is something, go to like a pet store, go to like a reptile shop that has, Virgo, this is your dream here, Virgo. But carry the day. Carry this dream. Bring this thing to fruition. And if we feel nervous and if we feel worried about failing, that's a great sign, Virgo, because that means you care about it. That means that this thing matters to you, and that's something that's worth following. So let's get some tarot on that. I love that. Look at you, Virgo. Hold on, let's get some more details on this. Because this could be a great time for you, Virgo, if you want to be in a place of, like, I don't know, public eye or something. Get some recognition, There you go. That's right, Virgo. So funny, higher self. Look at this. Virgo 1, you got 6 of Wands in reverse here. Oh, come on! 2 of my favorite ladies. You got the Queen of Cups here and the Empress. And let me tell you what, Virgo, if you haven't been feeling like an empress, if you haven't been feeling abundant, like things have been going your way, then you know what? Let's start one, take a minute and look where you're at on your journey. You know, let's start there, because the Six of Wands, in order to get to this win here, because this is very Six of Wands, this sixth card of Aries, in order to get to that win, Virgo, we got to look at when you start this thing. This is a great time for reflection. Look at, we're all over the place. When you decide to embark on whatever it is that you want to bring to fruition, Virgo, when you start on this journey, whatever it is that you want to invest in yourself going forward, think about that. Take moments when you feel like, when there are times when you're starting to feel a little resistance, when you're feeling down, when you feel like you haven't got a win, what the Empress does and what Queen of Cups does, they're going to that's a moment to pause and to take stock of where life is at right now. Because Virgo, I bet you there are many reasons for you to be abundant, right? Or to feel abundant right now, whether that be, from the clothes that you have, to being able, to enjoying your beverage of the day, or, for family members, for friends, for your health, for whatever this is, Virgo. But this is a time to start nurturing things, really, Virgo, with these two here, nurturing things that make you feel like a winner, make you feel abundant. And this is not me saying, Virgo, like if we have thinking of 10 of Pentacles, this is not saying quit your job if we're at a job, working, 9 to 5, something along those lines. That's not what I'm saying at all. Working in things in general to make you feel like a winner, whether that's working on your health, whether that's working in a hobby, whether have you been wanting to read more? Do you want to make more time to relax? Maybe, kick up in your Empress energy? Do you want to make more time to go to the beach, reflect? Whatever, Virgo, meditate, whatever that is, make more time for that. And then realize that, just celebrate these victories that are coming in your win, because that's how the abundance just builds up and builds up and builds up. Because you're freaking abundant right now, Virgo. Come on, Empress 10, even though it's 10 of Pentacles is in reverse, it's because the Empress is thinking about it. The Empress is figuring out, what can we do? How have we won in the past? Because Virgo, I'm sure you've had periods of times where you really brought in, you're just like, man, I really felt like on top of the world, Six of Wands. So how can we make that happen? Not just again, but make it happen bigger this time, because that's the beauty of the Queen of Cups. She takes her experience, all the bad ones and the good ones, Virgo, and she uses those energies from the past to navigate in the present, to make her abundant future. The wins and the losses, Virgo. We want those wins. We want them to hit again, and then those lower ones, we want to learn from those and grow from those, and get a game plan. How do we not repeat that from happening again? Because in order for growth to happen, Virgo, there's going to be adversity. There are going to be challenges. It's just the dance, but it's totally worth it. Look at you. Another one to add to your vision board there, Virgo. So I'm with it. More? All right. Because what more do you need? And you know what? Just even thinking about this energy too, Virgo, just down the line, because Taurus can be, Taurus is very sensual energy, and Venus is going to be moving into, which I'm going to talk about on the next planetary spread, but in between this, Venus is going to be moving into Cancer here soon. How funny. Venus is going to be moving into Cancer here soon. So if we're not thinking about family right now, as far as expanding, because, 10 of Pentacles too, that's, thinking about family. If we're not thinking about, having little ones, then, let's just be mindful, Virgo. But, all right. Look at you. Let's talk about this Scorpio energy. Because, on the 5th of May, there's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And with this energy, I've been telling people, if we don't work with these energies, Scorpio energy can be, they're known as the most intense sign of the zodiac, but really I feel like it's only intense when we don't work with the energy. When we do, it's more of a cathartic experience, that Scorpio energy brings, because they're bringing change, they're bringing transformation, they're bringing metamorphosis. And so this might be a time, Virgo, you may notice during this that, maybe some old traumas may pop up, just some things. This is going to be a highly reflective time. Scorpio's very intuitive energy. And that's going to be something you're going to be noticing too, Virgo, that your psychic awareness is going to be heightened during this time. But the nice thing about this energy, if we can just kind of navigate through this stuff, there might be, just pay attention. I've been even noticing, like, just last night, when I'm recording, I've noticed that it was just like waking up at like weird hours, and it's just like, like kind of tossing and turning. It's just like the eclipse energy is coming, and it's just like this, it is what's going down. But this is a time that, any sort of like deep healing, or any sort of like inner child traumas in general, just that may come up to the surface, and it might feel a little much. So, this is a great time for you to, to nurture yourself. Or if we find little pockets of emotions like that, be present in those experiences, because those what may feel painful at that time is making you more powerful, Virgo. It's promoting growth. So just something to think about with this energy, and it's not to get you to panic or anything. This is just something that change is necessary. Growth is necessary. That's how we keep getting this abundance. So, okay, let's get an oracle on this and see how we can work with this energy. Which, you're doing it like an empress. So, great start, Virgo. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Look at you. Wow, Virgo. You are upgrading, living your best life. We went from being, wow. You got the 5th card of Geminis here, which is the yacht card. Don't forget about me when you're off sailing there, Virgo, because with this yacht card, I like this. This is a card of adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. And Virgo, this is sick. This can be maybe for some of us, if we haven't been feeling as abundant as we could, or whatever that is. I feel like that this may be for some of you. It may be some time, just even thinking, Venus rules over Taurus. This may be a time like where I was talking about, maybe getting out by water, getting in nature, maybe going on a hike, going by a river, something. But just anything, go on an adventure, Virgo. I feel like this is, especially we've been just kind of maybe stressed out, or just been kind of working real hard and just haven't been seeing any sort of results, or just haven't been feeling like a win. Sometimes we just got to break up that energy, Virgo. Do something out of the norm, to break up that cycle, so that again we can Queen of Cups, take a moment and reflect on this, figure out what can we do to feel more affluent, to feel more, just to so that things starts flowing more smoothly, that life feels like things are going with ease. And even when it's not, we at least are in a comfortable position. We can at least, even if it feels like we don't got a roof over our head, we can still chill on our lazy boy and enjoy the abundance that is still, that's a weird example, but the Empress. But she's over. No, you're not. Okay, girl. Virgo. This is what happens when the Empress shows up. You're the first one that's gotten the Empress, Virgo. So really, Virgo, all of this shenanigans and things, this banter back and forth, I feel like that it's time for you to do things that just have some fun, Virgo. That can just there's just something that's like just intuitively, that's signaling that maybe if we were to just go, and I don't even feel like it has to be like a long trip, Virgo, but just like maybe changing our environment just for like a spell, maybe for like a weekend or just something along those lines, but let's get some tarot on this and see, get a little more details on this yacht that you're going on, this life of luxury that you're living. And this might be a time, Virgo, Taurus energy can be, very self-indulgent. This can be a time, self-care, take yourself out on a date, maybe, I don't know, Virgo. Let's see, Virgo. Right. Wow. Okay. So we got the world in reverse here, Virgo. And so this really, Virgo, this is, Ten of Pentacles in the world. The fact that they're in reverse, I feel like that this is not saying, Virgo, that if we've been operating from if we've been feeling like we've had lack thereof, or that, there's not any sort of abundance around us, we got to be really careful with that, Virgo, because that's the world that you're painting, the universe where can provide us with inspiration and motivation, takes us at our word. And if that's the world the vibration that you've been putting out, that you don't have, how come my abundance doesn't, and we're not tuning in to our intuition and listening to those feelings, Virgo, then it's just going to keep happening. We're going to keep staying in a place of lack. So we got to change up the narrative. We got to change up our worldview in our head. We might even need to just with this world being in reverse, maybe this is changing up your environment even. And if we're not even thinking about moving, Virgo, checking your environment, because the Empress is all about beauty and aesthetics. And if something if our place has not been feeling where the energies have been going, even if it's spotless, Virgo, maybe this is something about rearranging some things, maybe doing some stuff, if you maybe moving this couch over up against this wall as opposed to here, or something along those lines. Anything to kind of shake this up, to just start just getting this energy moving, because I just feel like that there's you really, because I like Virgo, it's, believe me, I know some I know some people with some strong Virgo placements, and I've seen it done. I've seen you build up your abundance. So it's one of those things you just really have to Seven of Cups and ask yourself what it is that you want, and then figure out how you want to go get it. Network maybe, something along those lines. Pluto's in Aquarius, and we're going to talk about all that, but this is a time this is a great, you've got a blank canvas, Virgo. What do you want to paint? That's what this is giving me, Maura. Right. And I don't mean to come at you, Virgo. Listen, it's more so that, especially if this is something where if we're resonating with the fact that we don't feel abundant, or if we don't feel that things have been going our way, then it's time to change the narrative. What is that? Why is that? And it's something you got to be honest with yourself, Virgo, because otherwise things aren't going to change. We're just going to stay stuck in whatever cycle that we're in right now. And it's not to say that you're not going to get abundance, but you're only going to get the abundance for that cycle. And clearly there's more for you there, Virgo. So you just got to ask yourself, when do you want more? And then figure out how to manifest it, because I know you can. And if you don't feel like you can, Virgo, we can again, partnership, bounce some ideas off of people, just don't stay in a place of stuck where you feel like that you can't, okay? But let's get on to, since the Empress is here, let's switch gears. Let's talk about, because the Empress is in Gemini right now, Virgo, and this is what I was talking about, and you know what, that's actually, because I feel it's like, that's weird that I feel like that's really kind of like hyper-focused on that, maybe talking to people, because with the Empress being in Gemini, Venus being in Gemini, she entered she entered Gemini on the 11th of April and will be there through the 6th of May. And with this energy, this is like a really lighthearted and more kind of cerebral placement for the Empress. So she's in like her socialite type of energy. And this is kind of where I was talking about. If we have some ideas, Virgo, this is a great time to be kind of mingling right now, you know, because the Empress is very charming energy. They rule over Libra as well. And Libra, not only do they have that kindness and nurturing energy of Taurus, but they have that charm, that elegance. You know, she also has that charm and elegance of Libra. So you're going to notice that, like, you're at least hopefully you're noticing that that your speech is just more, it's just like it has the potential to be more smooth, just more kind of social. This is just a great time for that and just interaction. But also, because Gemini is a sign of higher, of like childhood education, and they're such a curious sign, you know, ruled by Mercury, this is a great time for doing things for, you know, because Venus can also deal with like finances, investments, things along those lines, Taurus energy. This is a great time to invest in things for the mind. So thinking about any skills that we want to get, Virgo, or maybe, you know, hitting up maybe even like a mentor, maybe an Empress, Queen of Cups type, someone who's wise, you know, because even with this, you know, Queen of Cups in this deck, she's meant to look more wise than the other queens in this deck, because the Queen of Cups, she's experienced, she's rooted in ancestry, you know, so just something to think about. But maybe that's, you know, let's see how we can work with this energy, Virgo. All right. It's time to make a declaration, Virgo. I love that. Okay. But Virgo, you got the 7th card of Leos here, which is the declaration card. And this is a card of defiance, reclaiming power, wow, sovereignty, contract, resolve, expressing truth, manifesto, self-rule, liberty or death, rules of the game, protesting, and challenging the status quo. And Virgo, really this reclaiming your power, this sovereignty, you know, this is something that I feel like that's something that's really popping out to me. And if it's time to really expressing your truth. If we're Virgo, fantastic time. Seriously, if we've been, and this is, and again, this is not saying just like, this is just if there are any areas of our life that we're not feeling abundant in, or we're not feeling fulfilled, or we're not feeling, you know, that it's just like it doesn't feel there's a piece that's missing. You know, it's time to express that truth. You know, do we not like our job? Is it lowering our vibration? How do we fix that? Are we not, how do we feel about our health? You know, if we're noticing that that's something that's been kind of bringing us down, how do we address that? You know, Virgo, this is great. You are really, this is great time for you to really start these next few, you know, up until these lunar eclipses, next set of eclipses. You are a sign because you live in the 6th house. That is a sign, or, you know, the house of like routines and self-care, you know, and like of health and of jobs, you know, of all these things that we're kind of talking about here. And so if there has been just really anything, Virgo, that has been less than satisfactory in our body, that's just like, that's not harmonizing with us, then be honest with yourself and let's tackle that stuff. Let's figure out, and again, Virgo, you don't got to tackle it all at once. Pick the one that makes the most sense, and then if it seems like, let's say, because even if let's say if this is like a health thing, for example, you know, then this is not health advice, Virgo. Just keep that in mind, you know. Let's say we're thinking about, like, we want to start working out, we're thinking about diet, you know, we're thinking about sleep. There are a whole number of factors that work into like our health alone. Okay, let's see if we've noticed, like, let's say we've been feeling exhausted as of late. Let's start with sleep. You know, let's get on that first, you know, because I find like just incorporating any type of good vibration into your routine is going to help shift that clock, you know, That's how we control the wheel of fortune. That's how we learn from these cycles, you know. We start investing in ourselves, doing these things, making them routine, and that's how we're building Ten of Pentacles. Our world's coming into view. We're feeling we're celebrating. We're king of the mountain. You know, we declare, we the people. You know what I'm trying to get at, Virgo. But let's get hold on, let's get some tea. Let's hydrate, Virgo. Maybe making more time to hydrate. Let's hydrate, Virgo. All right, now let's get some tarot. All right, King of Cups. That's when I'm looking at these divine counterparts coming up here. And you know, Virgo, hold up. Let's see what we got here. Because we got Page of Wands and this Virgo. You're bringing it this reading. I tell you what, I'm not kidding. You're coming through real strong for this reading here, this energy that you're bringing. Because you got this. The sun is in reverse, but that's okay. I feel like you're big. We're going to talk about that. But I actually really love what's happening here, Virgo. Your sun's in reverse. You got the King of Cups upright, and then the Page of Wands upright. And you see this little spread here. Your future, your big dream, you know, your big picture, your happiness. This is a time. I mean, the planets are even trying to tell you, Virgo, this is a time for you to shine some light on what would make you happy, what would bring more sunshine into your world. Because when the sun's in reverse, that means to me there's an opportunity for you to find bliss, for you to find your happiness, for you to get to where you're feeling confident, sitting on your, and this is something, Virgo, where I was talking about, you know, this cool cat unflappable. When you're thinking about this stuff, don't let this, you know, stress you out or anything like that. Keep a cool head, you know, but give it a try. This, I will say, you know, that's something, Virgo. This is, if you've been sitting on this energy for a while, let's start putting this stuff into practice here. And just even thinking, because like, especially if this is something where we're thinking about like a career change possibly, you know, like if you see this figure here, she's not worried about, like, sure, she may, if she's going to catch this baton, possibly. Could she fail? Maybe. But you know what? The fact that she's even afraid or worried about that, that means, again, that matters to her. And we'll never know, Virgo, until we try. You never know what you can improve on until we experience it. The Queen of Cups, you know, I was saying it's Cancer's card. Cancer, my son's in Cancer. Cancer is, you know, we gain like experiential wisdom. When we go through an experience, that's how we learn this stuff. It's one of those things we don't learn until we try, Virgo. And so keep a cool head in this. Know that you're going to become a King of Cups as this goes down here, because that's what you're working towards, you know. But you got to work towards it, you know. You got to find the sun. Sometimes the sun's not going to, the sun will always be here for you, Virgo, but it's not going to wait for you. You know, it's going to be one of the sun spread its abundance all around for us to share. So if we happen to miss a cycle, that's fine. Reflect on that. And when the sun comes around again, let's seize the day. Like, because the beautiful thing is, like I was saying, the sun is always going to rise, Virgo. Look at this. I mean, come on. This reading is almost just telling itself here. More. I'm with it. Because this is seriously in Virgo, and I'm not just trying to say this just to like blow smoke up your skirt or anything like that. You know, check out the other readings if you want to. Like, it's been kind of intense energy. This is a nice change of pace here. You know, like Virgo, this is dope. So, and it's not that it's doom and gloom for the others. It's just like that. It seems like this is a great time for you to claim abundance, Virgo. And you know what? Let's talk about the next energy, because you got Mars in Cancer. And with Mars in Cancer, Mars entered Cancer kind of early back in, I want to say like the 25th or 28th of March, and we'll be in Cancer until the 19th of May. And with Mars being in Cancer, excuse me, Virgo, this is great energy This is one, well, one is kind of a weird place for Mars to be, because, you know, Mars kind of falls in Cancer, just because, you know, Mars is about like that action. In Cancerians, we gotta feel it out first before we're taking a move. So, you know, Mars is not used to being in that type of intuitive energy like that. But the nice thing is, it is intuitive energy. You know, we're all intuitive, Virgo, but you know, water signs, it's just like they're a little more, it's a little more natural, you know, to them. And but this energy gives you a great opportunity to feel what brings you joy, what brings you, you know, what means the world to you, and then pursue that. Take action. You know, use this Mars energy to fuel, to nurture your dreams to life, and bring this stuff in. That's beautiful Saturn and Pisces energy, Virgo, and we're going to talk about that next. But this is a fantastic time. Use this to your advantage, but something to be mindful of. Just because Cancerian energy, when not balanced, can be on the emotional side, and Mars energy can be aggressive. We want to be mindful of just being reactive, Virgo. You know, for like if we get like frustrated in this, or just like emotions in general. You know, we want to make sure that we keep eyes on that, and that yeah, we're just not in that reactive type of space, or, you know, or just kind of blow up for no reason. So just something to be aware of. But let's get an oracle on this, see how we can work with this energy. Yeah, because this is dope, Virgo. I'm with it. I love whatever it is that you're planning on cooking up, and I think that you will as well. Love it. You got the fourth card of Pisces here. Oh, I haven't gotten this one yet. Fourth card of Pisces, which is a scuba diver. Look at you. Deep dive. We're going on it. We're learning about ourselves, Virgo. Oh, wow. Scuba diver is about going within, observation, 0 point, self-examination, exploring the unconscious mind, in the void, desire to know, self-reflection, disconnecting, deep thoughts in subliminal. Virgo, this is pretty much everything we've been talking about. This is doing a deep dive, asking yourself those bigger questions. And listen, this doesn't have to be where, I mean, if you want to change the world, Virgo, I support that. But this doesn't have to be, you don't have to think on like where you're like, oh my gosh, how can I change the world? This can be something where it's just like, how do I work on me first? You know, and then that's going to bleed over into your family, your loved ones, because they're going to see you taking care of yourself, and that's going to inspire them. But, you know, Virgo, if you want to, you know, you can, I mean, we could think bigger than this. We can absolutely, if you want to think on a bigger realm and do for the community. The sun doesn't discriminate where it shines, you know, so that's something. It's just this, it's a time, Virgo. Ask yourself, go within, do some reflecting, meditate on this stuff. I feel like the universe is literally asking you, what do you want? It's like, and I don't mean to be glib, but that's really kind of the energy that I'm getting. It's just like, what do you want? And then sit down and figure out how we're going to go about getting it, because you absolutely can, Virgo. It's all right here. You have the tools, and that's something important. Don't focus on what you don't have, Virgo, with whatever it is that we're building up. Focus on what you do have, and then see how we can work with this. See how we can get all this other things that we do, the extra stuff that we need. How can we get that to manifest? But let's get some tarot on this. All right, I'm with it. You got the Ten of Wands in reverse here, Virgo. And you know, Virgo, I feel like with this, you know, this is something where I feel like once you find this thing, because if this is giving to me, you know, the nice thing about the Ten of Wands, it's like, it can come across like a burden, but usually it's like, you know, we're at like the tail end of this. It's like, you know, kind of push through to the end. But I feel like, Virgo, if we've been feeling burdened as of late, or, just really been feeling like just kind of burnt out, and just like with whatever it is that we're doing, it's just like it's really draining our energy, and not in like it's one thing if you had a hard day's work, but and you're tired, but it's like a whole other thing when it's just like even just thinking about it just drains your energy. I feel like that this is saying, to focus on, to incorporate some things to lessen that burden, so that things don't feel. And listen, Virgo, I know that may sound like a no-brainer, but again, ask, are there areas in your life where you kind of just like, oh, I wish I could do this, or gosh, I'm doing this again, or if we have anything along those lines, areas that we can see improve, or in need of improvement. This is something to work on, Virgo, and think about this, and figure out how can we. Because I'm even like getting with this, it's like I feel like when we find this thing, it's just going to just make life just so much like that yacht card. Things are just going to kind of go with ease, and that is just going to, even when you have a lot on your plate, it's not going to feel like a burden. It's because you want to do this thing. This is stuff that you asked for. This is something that even when it feels like that we're working, that we're really cranking, that is still filling up all our cups, that at the end of the day, we feel that we've contributed a little bit closer to our 10 of Pentacles, to our world, to that sunshine. So just, yeah, let's do a deep dive, Virgo. That's sick. More. Let's see what else we got, Virgo. Both? Okay. All right, Virgo. So we got the Devil upright, and then, all right. So we got the Star card in reverse here. So Virgo. With this Devil card, really, this is just kind of, at this point, the message really is, what's been lowering your vibration? What is it? Is it job? Is it health? Is it people? What is it? Situation. This is time to ask yourself, what do we need to work on? What do we need to do to raise this vibration? How do we get out of whatever this low vibratory funk that we're in? How do we start to do the healing? Because that's what this Star card is about. This is, and something with this, Virgo, that healing, these answers that we might be asking ourselves, again, they come from within. It's like we look so hard, I feel like, we look so hard without, like, outside of ourselves to try to find an answer that's all right here. We just have to ask, higher self, future self, however you connect to the source, just wants to know. All the information is right there. It's just like, just what do you want to manifest? And then, and it's accepting because maybe this is something where it's like we've not liked the answer. Maybe it's like we feel like it's going to be more work than what we want to sign up for. But it's just like, look at where we're at now, and it's just like we're feeling abundant and we're still putting in this work. Why? I hope that makes sense, Virgo. But I feel like it's time to heal that connection to time. And you know what? Something that's really good energy, Virgo, I feel like, to tap into that, just doing some creative things, whether that's like maybe coloring or drawing, or maybe even writing some poetry, or just getting yourself in a creative space. I feel like something to just like activate that creative side of your brain, and just like kind of tap into that something, Virgo. But this can be really, this card, really this energy is almost saying to do your card, Hermit, and think about how can we let this light shine? How can we bring out the brilliance that is Virgo? Because I tell you what, all your cards, even in this deck, you have a good chunk of this, you like abundant cards, like mother loads and all type of crazy stuff there, Virgo. So you're mad abundant, and don't forget that. Now, let's talk about these dreams and stuff while you're reflecting here, because here's what's about to go down. You got Saturn in Pisces, and you got Neptune's in Pisces. And Let's talk about Neptune first, because Neptune's been chilling in Pisces for like a minute. You know, Neptune's at home in Pisces. And Neptune chills in the sign for about, I want to say it's about 12 to 14 years. But with Neptune being in Pisces, this is a time, Virgo, to not just like stay, if we've had any dreams, because, you know, the minus with Neptune in Pisces is that it can be escapist type of energy. You know, this very dreamy, very much about fantasies, illusions. So we can get, you know, because Neptune's at home, you know, she's chilling. She chills hard when she chills in a sign. So this is something that, this is not a time to just get lost in your dreams, Virgo. If we had any sort of like passions or anything, start manifesting this stuff. You know, the easiest way, just bringing them from the dome to the home, pen and paper. That's a great start. And just so that the energy is out there, because sometimes, Virgo, I feel like if we keep these thoughts and ideas just kind of swimming in our head, that's just where they stay. You know, then they become, they're too abstract for us to play with. So now it's time to start manifesting those things. But, you know, the beautiful part of Neptune being in Pisces is because it's so imaginative and she's at home, you know, we can dream big. And this is very, just on another note, this is very compassionate energy. This is a great time for networking and, you know, connection and all of that. The star card, this is Aquarius's card. Aquarius is about, you know, humanitarianism and you know, connecting, socializing, all of that. So this is a great time to bond with, like, you know, if we've been feeling even like, you know, changing up, like when we were talking about even like the people, you know, being around people that raise our vibration and whose vibration you raise as well, Virgo, and really getting in these type of harmonious situations here. King and Queen of Cups, making sure that the energies are vibing really well, because, you know, and listen to your intuition. If something doesn't feel right with a person, with the situation, because even just thinking about that, the King and Queen of Cups, they're, you know, after like really maybe after like the High Priestess and the Hierophant, these two are like just hyper intuitive. So just, you know, trust this energy at this time. But also Saturn being in Pisces. This is Saturn in Pisces. This is exactly, you show this to Saturn right here. Saturn's in it. So you know what? Saturn's seeing your dream, Virgo, and guess what? He wants you to manifest it, because Saturn is the taskmaster. You know, he may come across as a hard ass, but Saturn gives, if you work with this energy, Saturn is just as abundant as Jupiter. It's just Saturn requires, you know, 10 of Wands, requires a little bit more work here. 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands. You know, just we got to put in this work. This abundance is not just going to fall in our lap. It's just going to be around us. It's just like we've got to work with our energies, Virgo, and I hope that makes sense. But, you know, just Saturn and Pisces, you know, if we've been feeling kind of antsy, you know, just like been, you know, whatever, this is a time to start manifesting your dreams, because Pisces being dreamy energy, Saturn bringing that restriction, it's like it's time to quit dreaming. It's time to make this world manifest and make this abundance happen. Make a decision. Where do you want to start? What do we want to start shine some light on? And then let's do it, you know? And this is a great energy as well, you know, very, very spiritual energy right now, Virgo. So really get in touch with yourself, get in touch with higher self, make that connection, you know, with that gut, that instinct. So let's get some tarot on this. Or excuse me, let's get an oracle on this first, and then we'll get some tarot. Nice. All right, got one of Aquarius's cards here. Yeah, okay, yeah, one of Aquarius cards. This is the 9th card of Aquarius. I love it, which is pretty much the star card. I love it, the water carrier. I dig it. Look at you. It's a lot of emphasis on healing here. But, well, let's see. Oh, yeah, because with this card, this first time I got this card, this is a card of humanitarian, humanitarian, generosity, nobility, balance, calm life, communication, compassion, unselfish, alleviate suffering, benefactor, care for others, humane, helpful, and ethical. And you know, Virgo, I feel like that interesting. You know, I feel like with this energy popping up here, that maybe what's popping in my head, just like with that care for others and just kind of like how it's talking about humanitarianism and communication and such, I feel like that maybe for some of you, maybe we might find some healing, maybe because Virgo, you know, like we all can be of service, but I feel like Virgo is really a sign of service in the sense of like you know how to bring the best out of people. You know, I feel like that Virgo has that really analytical mind. You know, people say that, you know, like Virgos are perfectionists, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like you want things to be in order. And I feel that this is something where some of us, you know, maybe if we've been feeling that, because I was telling something to like Aries, and I think I mentioned something to Leo like this too. You know, if we've been feeling like maybe like our community hasn't been, you know, has maybe been affected by all the crazy, you know, what's been going down here, and you know, maybe you want to bring abundance to the world, Virgo. You know, and again, this could be in your maybe you know, it could be maybe amongst your friends, amongst your family, amongst your neighborhood, your community, your state, whatever. But if we're thinking something along those lines, don't feel like that dream is too big for you, that you can't accomplish that. It's, you know, this is something, maybe ask for help. You know, don't feel like you can't connect with people. You know, just thinking with the star card, you know, it's, I feel like in order to help the, you know, humanity and help the society, we have to interact with them. You know, got to be amongst the energies and be generous with this and see where that leads you. You know, and try to bring some healing, because this time that we're getting ready to get in, this is a great time because you know, it's been nothing but just like tower moments all over the place, and that's Mars energy. And I'm just thinking with the Empress, you know, when we talk about that Mars, you know, clearing out the old to make space for new, the Empress is the new. The Empress comes in and she's the one that's bringing in that abundance, you know, bringing more beauty to the world, you know, growing, taking that rich soil that Mars has left there, and she's sowing new seeds and bringing life. And this, you can bring beauty to the world, Virgo. Your world, other people's worlds, you know, it all permeates. But I do feel like that before we really, you know, like I feel like you can think big too, you know, and do these dreams, but I feel like make sure that we're doing a balance, you know, because I feel that sometimes, you know, Virgo energy, it's not to say that you aren't about healing yourselves, but I feel like that sometimes that we can get kind of caught up in wanting to help others first before we want to heal ourselves. So that's something to be aware of too, Virgo. You know, we want to focus on, because I almost, you know, because it's one thing I feel like that if people come and ask, you know, ask for your advice or something along those lines. But if we just go out and just like are just giving stuff, you know, just like, hey, you need you know what I mean, Virgo? I just feel like that this is something where, you know, try not to get into that habit of focusing on others to not raise our vibration, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. You know, sometimes we can use work to kind of not focus on ourselves, but let's get some tarot on this and see if we get a little more details with this water carrier. But just even on another note, just with this calm life imbalance, you know, let that be just like, even if we're not, wherever we're at on this journey, Virgo, let that be a focus of yours too, you know, just establishing calm and balance, you know, and just alleviating any sort of, you know, just dis-ease or anything along those lines. Okay, interesting. Okay, so you got the, more Aquarius energy. You got the Five of Swords in reverse here. And with this Five of Swords, Virgo, you know, when we're figuring out this stuff, I feel like the biggest thing is, you know, one, make sure that we're not comparing ourselves to others, you know, and that but I also feel with this, Virgo, you know, I guess let me finish that last thought. You know, don't compare yourself to others, just because everyone's journey looks different. You know, everyone has a different idea. How abundance looks like to you looks different to me, looks different to the Empress, you know, than to Paul. But it's all beautiful all the same, you know, but we just got to focus on ours, you know, whatever your view of sunshine and the world and all of this, Virgo star. I mean, look at you, look at your potential here. But, you know, I do feel like that if this seems like a lot and we're just feeling kind of stuck or not sure, you know, kind of maybe bounce some ideas off of something and be, you know, Virgo, this is something where, you know, just be open to other people's ideas, you know, possibly, you know, if we've been feeling kind of stuck and, you know, been kind of reaching others, you know, it's kind of like how I say at the beginning, you know, kind of take what resonates with you, leave the rest with them. But, you know, I feel like that if we're kind of in a tough spot here, we got to, you know, keep an open mind and just work with these, you know, because this higher self is, you know, it's interesting how higher self will get in touch with us. You know, sometimes it's through signs, sometimes it's through people. You never know. So just something to be aware of. All right, all this Aquarius energy here. Let's talk about the last little bit here, because Pluto's going to be in Aquarius, but Pluto's going to start retrograde, or getting ready to go into retrograde here soon. Virgo, you know, before we get into that, I thought I could make it through this reading, but I'm going to pause really quick and plug in my computer. So one moment. All right, Virgo, we're back. So Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto's going to be going retrograde on the 1st of May. And will be retrograde. It will be retrograding in Aquarius till the 11th of June, and then officially move out of Aquarius until next year, where it will officially settle back into Aquarius on, I want to say it's January 21st of 2024. But you know, this is a time where things may start coming to light, you know, because when we're retrograde time, it's a time of reflection, this is absolutely scuba diver time. So things are probably going to start, you thought things were getting kind of doing a shift now. A lot of things are probably going to start coming up to the surface here, Virgo, amongst a lot of things. But also, where it could be some weirdness, could also be some sunshine that's going to be coming up. I feel like, you know, for you, Virgo, this is a good time to reflect on this energy. But there are probably going to be some more global changes that are going to be going down, Virgo. Tower moments and time, but lovely time for star energy, for healing, for Empress energy, for bringing abundance, for world, for figuring out what we want to do, our dreams. But because, you know, the last time Pluto was doing any sort of like, was in Aquarius, this was around the time, you know, the American Constitution was ratified. There was the French Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, just a lot was going down. So, you know, it's going to be a lot more going down here. You know, Pluto brings in change, I mean, it's another one of Scorpio's ruler, and it brings in, you know, necessary, but it can be intense. So just something to keep in mind there, Virgo. But let's go ahead. Great time for networking, all that Aquarius energy that you got here. But let's get an oracle on this and see about this energy here. Love it. All right. You got the 5th card of Leos here, which is the Dynamite card. And this is a card of excitement, passion, action, suspense, destroy, powder keg, fantastic, energetic, breakup, catalyst for change, explosive, short fuse, firecracker, blast, sudden, unexpected, and fast. And you know what, Virgo? I feel like when we really start chasing our passions and, you know, really start going after those things that excite you, that really, you know, that just get you pumped up and bring you energy, man, your world, I feel like, is going to change up. But we got to work with this energy here, especially when that inspiration comes. This gives me very like Ace of Wands, where it's just like the opportunities are here. You know, it's a great time for you to just really, and it's a great time for all of us really to start working with these energies here and seeing, you know, what inspirations pop up. You could be a catalyst for change, Virgo. And I know that may seem, a bit, fantastical, but I mean, why not? Star, sun, world. I mean, you. But this is a time, really, Virgo. Bring that energy. Do things that lift you up and just fill in some excitement in this world. But let's get some tarot on this. I like that. See what we got here, Virgo. All right, Virgo, love it. So you got the Queen of Swords in reverse here, and then we got the Four of Wands in reverse. And so Virgo, if we're not sure about our direction, Queen of Swords, if we're not clear about if we're not clear on our direction, how do we get to this finish line, to this happiness, to start getting where some of this abundance can start so we can really start reaping the benefits of this. Maybe I feel like with this Queen of Swords, maybe this is something, just getting out of our heads for a second, Virgo. Just with this energy, maybe we're thinking too hard about it, trying to weigh these options. Just think, because, just thinking with the Queen and King of Cups here. Like I was saying, there's very intuitive energy, so this could be something where you need to feel this out, Virgo. I mean, you're ruled by Mercury, so I get where that, we want to be, have a game plan, we want to think on this stuff, I want to have all the details, but it's just and that's perfect, but it's just we got to figure out what's guiding these details, what's guiding this stuff here. And I feel like as you feel this stuff out and find these things that bring you excitement and work towards that stuff, making that connection, then it's really going to start falling into line here, and then you're really going to start cooking. Then it's going to be nothing but Four of Wands all day, Six of Wands all day, because you have, seriously, just a lot of just things here to celebrate, Virgo. But it's taking the time, really, practicing, and not that I don't feel like you're not grateful, Virgo, but practicing some gratitude, making that like an everyday thing. Work that in your mantra, tell yourself, lifting up. I'm all about affirmations, and big one, I've been, tell yourself in the mirror, get yourself geeked up, I got new dreams coming up. I'm about to manifest my stuff. I'm all up in my Empress energy. It's on. So it's on, Virgo. Let's get this stuff happening, And I also feel like, the Queen of Swords, she's usually looking to the future. She sees the opportunities, she's going to go. There's a sun that's I don't know if you can really see it here, but there's a sun that's peeking out of these clouds here. And that's where her focus is right now, where she's focusing towards that sunlight, towards that happiness. And she's putting her back to the things that are no longer serving us our purpose, these devil moments that are lowering her vibration. She's learned from this stuff, and now she's going towards this happiness. She's found this, she's going towards the sunlight. So something to think about more. Let's see what else we got, Virgo. All right, Virgo, last bit here. Love it. Aquarius, hold on, we're going to switch back over here. Because last little bit, Six of Swords. And with the Six of Swords, this is, you're on to brand new, look at you, you got a second boat. You're on to brand new horizons. You know what? Maybe some of you have been feeling like this is how life has been treating you, like you've been just in this boat for a while, that it's just been that there's nothing to be thankful for, that it's just been just kind of doom and gloom or whatever this is. But you know what, with this, you see these Six Swords that are stuck in this boat. When we stay in that mindset of that we don't have this, we stay in a place of lack and don't appreciate these things, it makes it harder for us to upgrade this boat here to this yacht, this metaphorical yacht, or maybe literal yacht. I don't know what you got cooking up, Virgo, but the Six of Swords is about moving on to new opportunities. In order to do that, we have to leave behind, you know, even this like limiting mindsets as far as like, you know, not thinking that we're abundant or that we can't achieve these dreams or that, you know, life seems to be whatever. Changing that narrative, you know, getting yourself, Queen of Swords is Libra's card, getting back in balance, getting yourself back in justice or in adjustment. And when you do, Virgo, everything, I feel like things are going to start lining up for you. It's like we're right there, but we can just do that soul search and really find these answers. Man, I just feel like you're just going to be off to the races. So I'm gonna leave that there, Virgo. I'm seriously, this was brilliant. So, you know, if you like that, Virgo, give it a thumbs up. And you know what? Let other Virgos know, especially, you know, the thumbs up, like, yes, a like is a bonus, but I feel like this is more so just to let other Virgos know that, you know, we're figuring this thing out. You know, like we're all thinking about abundance, all thinking about 10 of Pentacles. How do we get to that 10 of Pentacles? And know that you're not in this by yourself. And maybe, who knows, maybe we start, I mean, Virgos start networking. Who knows? I mean, man, that actually would be something. But King of Pentacles all over the place. And you know what? Share with these King of Pentacles, Virgo. Let's make that happen. Let's get this world, let's get some abundance start circulating through here, Virgo, because there's so much abundance for all of us. And subscribe, King, and then hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week or each month or each cycle. You know, I do a lot on this channel. But social media goes, I'm getting some other stuff figured out. I gotta hit up a Virgo soon. I've been procrastinating a little bit. But I'm on this app, Insight Timer, and it's a place where I drop positive affirmations, you know, and when you going through this journey, Virgo, join the group and do the same. Drop some nuggets of wisdom, some stuff that you've been reflecting on, you know, Queen of Cups, King of Cups, things you've been thinking about, and drop them in the group. And then as the group grows, you know, I was actually, that's really funny, because I want to do something where it's like, you know, meditation groups, you know, like maybe like Void A Course with the Queen of Cups, and, you know, self-care with the Empress, you know, manifesting abundance with the Empress, something along those lines. You know, that'd be really cool. So check that out. Again, that's Zodiacs Raising the Vibration, is on the app Insight Timer. And then lastly, because you got a hot Cancer ticket here, if you got it, but if you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you the prize card here, Virgo, so I can get you out of here. I love it. Another Saturn asking you more questions here. You got the Seven of Pentacles upright. And, you know, why get your Oracle card with the Seven of Pentacles, Virgo. You know, she's one of the few that she almost looks like she's weary with what her investments are, you know, where she's planted her seeds, you know. And I feel like with this, Virgo, this is a great time to just really think about, if you're just feeling just like, again, areas that you just feel like you need to invest in, you know, let's start working towards that, because you got for your Oracle card, you got the Birth card here. And let's work towards birthing a new idea, you know, like, you know, bringing in some sunlight, bringing in your world, bringing in your 10 of Pentacles. But last little bit, you know, just now that we got the Birth card, I'm doubling down, well, tripling down, because we got three very fertile cards here. Again, if we're thinking about children, this seems like a fantastic time for it. But if we're not, you know, if we're trying to figure out, get some other things planned, you know, let's stay focused on that, Virgo. You know, there are plenty of times to have, you know, let's get our abundance first, and then, you know, when you share that love with the little ones. So, but I think I'm gonna leave that there, Virgo. This was really cool. So, and I hope you really do feel abundant, Virgo, and feel like you have a lot to be grateful for. And, you know, just take that time, Virgo. You know, raise your vibration through the roof. Stay safe out there. And we're going out of order a little bit. And I will catch you on the next one later. Oh, actually, one more thing, Virgo. Crap, you may already be gone, Virgo, but travel, get out there, you know, Six of Swords, get out there and go see the world, Virgo. There's something out there for you to see. All right, catch you later.